I get it. You've probably spent the last hour scrolling through endless chair options, trying to figure out which one will actually sit there for you week after week without turning your back into a sore mess. You're not looking for a piece of office furniture that just checks a checklist of specs. You want something that feels solid, that moves with you, and that doesn't drain your budget the moment you click Add to Cart. The real fear is ending up with a chair that looks great on the product page but ends up feeling like a cheap plastic throne after a few hours of work or gaming. That's why I'm diving into the Steelcase gesture, specifically the Cogent Connect Merlot fabric model, because it promises a balance of ergonomic depth and everyday durability, and I want to see if that promise holds up in the kind of real-world environment most of us actually live in. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's talk about why you might consider this chair, and more importantly, who should probably look elsewhere. First, who is this chair built for? If you're someone who spends 8 or more hours at a desk, whether it's a home office, a university study nook, or a shared co-working space, you'll appreciate the gesture's synchronizing back and seat mechanism. In simple terms, the backrest and seat move together as you shift your weight, which means you don't have to keep readjusting your posture every half hour. That can be a game changer for people with back issues or anyone who just hates the feeling of a rigid seat that forces you into one position. The chair also offers fully adjustable arms, seat depth, and a lumbar support knob, giving you enough levers to fine-tune the fit without needing a professional ergonomic assessment. For a remote worker who toggles between a laptop, a monitor, and a standing desk, those adjustments become a daily convenience rather than a rare tweak. Now, who should probably skip this one? If you're a minimalist on a shoestring budget, the gesture sits in the premium tier. Its price point reflects the Steelcase brand and the extensive adjustability, so for a student or someone looking for a good enough chair for occasional use, you might find more value in a simpler mesh chair or even a well-reviewed gaming seat that costs a fraction of the price. Likewise, if you work in a space with carpeted flooring, the hard floor casters, the little wheels designed for smooth surfaces, will feel a lot noisier and wear faster. You'll need a carpet mat or an upgrade to softer casters, which adds another small expense. Let's walk through a typical day with this chair. Imagine you start your morning with a quick coffee, settle into your home office, and set the arm height so your forearms rest comfortably while you type. As you transition into a video call, you naturally lean back. The synchronizing back gently follows, keeping the lumbar support aligned with the curve of your spine. When it's time to read a design brief, you slide the seat forward just a bit, extending your thighs onto the floor without forcing your knees into an odd angle. Throughout those 3 hours, the fabric 100% polyester in that muted Merlot hue holds up to the occasional coffee spill and a few pet hairs, and it doesn't feel like you're sitting on a cheap veneer. The polished aluminum base adds a sleek visual weight that matches modern decor, while the hard floor casters glide effortlessly across a hardwood floor, producing minimal noise even when you shift position. That's the kind of day-to-day fluidity you want from an office chair that claims all-day comfort. On the flip side, there are a couple of practical trade-offs that aren't often highlighted in product copy. The first is the assembly process. While it ships ready to assemble, the instructions assume a certain level of comfort with tools and mechanical parts. Most reviewers note that the base, seat, and backrest come in several large pieces that need aligning precisely, and the aluminum base can be a bit heavy for one person to handle. If you're not used to putting together office furniture, you might spend an hour or two wrestling with the bolts before the chair actually feels stable. The second issue is the weight capacity. While Steelcase lists a robust 400-pound rating, the ergonomic mechanisms, particularly the synchronizing back, can feel a bit stiff if you're near that limit, requiring extra force to recline smoothly. It's not a deal-breaker, but it's something to keep in mind if you're on the heavier side. Another subtle point is the lumbar support knob. It does provide a good range of tension, but you have to remember to set it each time you get up and sit down. In a fast-paced work environment where you pop up for a quick stretch or a short break, you might find yourself readjusting the knob more often than you'd like. If you prefer a chair that retains its lumbar configuration without any fiddling, this could be a minor annoyance. So, why does the gesture still get a solid rating?